Good morning and welcome to another episode of the Vampire Priest. I'm going to be your host today, Father Antonio Rivera, and today we're just going to go over a comic book series that should have landed hard and great and fantastic. It's the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers versus Godzilla. I believe about a year ago I did a review on the first one, and I stand by that review. I'm just going to go brief over it, and I just recently read the Godzilla versus the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Part 2, and there is a Part 2. So we're going to go over the first one. The first one, it was a good story, okay, it wasn't the best, and it wasn't the best. Definitely read worse crossovers over the years. But given that it's Mighty Morphin Power Rangers and how great the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers started off, straight on through from issue number 1 all the way to the Shattered Grid. Really great, fantastic. The art was on point. The story was on point. Character development was on point. I highly recommend it. If you are a fan of the Power Rangers, I know that they're doing a new series, which the uniforms look really fantastic. The reboot series. I would say give Mighty Morphin Power Rangers and even Go-Go Power Rangers a chance. You could probably go to your local comic book shop, ask for it by name, pick up the graphic novels, read them because they're that good. I highly recommend them. And I know a lot of mainstream comics are bad these days, but Mighty Morphin Power Rangers was not one of them. I don't know how it is now because I couldn't, I had other responsibilities and I was getting out of the comic game after Shattered Grid. I did pick up a few issues after that and it seemed a little bit lackluster. Once you open up dimension stuff, time travel, it was just way too many Power Rangers to keep track of. But anyway, getting back to this is a dimensional rift. Power Rangers go into a different universe. They meet Godzilla. The storyline really fell apart at the end. Spoilers alert. So if you haven't read it and you want to read it, please stop right now, and we'll, come back to it after you read it. But they do have the aliens from Godzilla in this storyline, and it kind of falls apart at the end with them. I would have just left those people out completely and totally and just left Godzilla and the Power Rangers, with Rita Repulsa and her monsters. That would have been the best way to go. But again, it was good. It was good till it fell apart. The real big issue that I had was the art style. The art style was very bulky and busy. So when you're looking at the pages, I'm going to put a cover on this. I don't know where it's going to be. It's going to be around here. So look for the cover that I'm pointing at somewhere around here. And it's very bulky. Now, the way the artist drew Godzilla is fantastic. I've seen his work before, a very unique style. This guy is great. He's a great artist. However, when it comes to fight scenes and for multiple persons on a scene, it can get a little daunting and a little bulky. He did the artwork for, it was Thundercats versus He-Man, and that was a good issue too. It was just hard for, maybe I'm just an old man. I am 50, looking at the pages and seeing these characters, because it's so bulky and so big and so grandiose. It works for monsters. When he did Godzilla, when he did Cringer as He-Man, really works perfect for it. But when you're trying to do characters, a fight scene, it can actually get in the way. This brings us to Godzilla versus the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Part 2. Apparently this takes place a few months afterwards. Now, the guy who did Part 1, he did do the cover for the first issue. So right away I was, okay, I'm going to have some really good pictures of Godzilla, and even the Zords, because he did a fantastic job on the Megazord. Holy crap, this guy. Again, really great, unique art style. When it comes to the big stuff, really great. The smaller guys, all of that bulkiness and that busyness of the art style, because he uses big, bold lines, really gets lost in translation. So he did the cover, but somebody else did the interior work. I'm about art and story. Those are the two things they got me. They give me hooked. I've been that way since the '70s when I first picked up my first issue of Batman, and my mom got it for me. Yay! She started me young. So it's at first I was put off. I was like, all right, I'm gonna get some Godzilla stuff. The guy could draw a really awesome Godzilla. Again, thumbs up. But the storyline wasn't as good as the first series. I believe they're in graphic novel form now, so if you want to pick up the graphic novels, you're great. This is going to be spoilers for Godzilla Part 2. So if you haven't read it and you want to read it, stop right now, come back later. The art style does seem to be very rushed, and it seemed to be more leaning towards kiddie stuff. So like kiddie comics for younger generations. But it did seem a few points to be rushed. I'm gonna put a couple of covers around here somewhere. So wherever it is, I should be pointing to it right about now. To show you the actual cover and then how the interior is gonna look. Because the guy who did the interior did do the covers after issue number 1. And the storyline was just not there. There were a couple things that had me wanting to stop reading, such as when again, spoiler alert, when the Dragon Zord merged with Godzilla, that was the dumbest thing. I mean, it's robots. It's designed to link with other robots, and that's all mechanical parts. It should have been stabbing Godzilla and going straight into his skin and to his skeletal structure. But no, they did that. I don't know why they did that. I don't know who thought that would be a really good idea, especially when you see how the Dragon Zord merges with the Megazord in the past comics or in the TV series. It is not a good idea. There's just way too much going on there. So, and then they had some big giant robot guy. I don't know where he came from. I do not remember him at all. I think they just got the rights to an old Japanese Sentai show and was able to process him through it. Otherwise, it was mediocre at best in terms of story. The art was lackluster. Again, it seemed very rushed, very rushed. I wonder if the artist was actually under a time crunch when he actually started drawing, as well as the inking and the coloring. It all seemed kind of rushed. I think there was a time crunch. Probably the original artist fell through and he wasn't able to do it. That's what I'm thinking, and they had to find people last minute to fill up those pages. But it wasn't anything to write home about. I think the younger audience might like it because you're introducing new characters and you have Godzilla there. I'm pretty much a sucker. If anything has Mighty Morphin Power Rangers on it or Godzilla, I'm going to pick it up. I'm going to take a read. I want to check it out. Godzilla is, he's been my boy since the 70s when I was born. I think he was one of the first movies that I've ever seen. I saw it with my dad sitting on his lap. We were right there watching it on TV. But regardless, it's if you're interested in Godzilla, if you like the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, pick them up. Otherwise, especially the second series, it's very lackluster. That's my reviews. Tell me what you think about it, your likes, comments, concerns. Please feel free to share and watch and discuss. Thank you.